Hey, 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 welcome to another episode of the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show. And today we are back at it with the Career Rescue Hotline. And I'm so excited because we have our caller here live today. And we're going to be talking all about, I just found out that I'm being underpaid. And trust me, it's much more than that, but that's exactly where we're going to start. All right, Alba, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell me what's going on with you and your career.
So I've been with this company for almost 8 years now.
Hmm.
I brought 15 more years of experience to this job that I have now,
Hmm.
and I've been suspecting that I'm being underpaid, but it's the job where I've been earning the most ever in my life. So I've been like, okay, I'll just keep on going. But on March, I had my year review with my boss, and she was the one that actually confirmed to me that she had reached out to HR because she noticed that I was under, there's some tables that HR use for salary. So she found out that I was actually being underpaid. So she said she was working with HR. I haven't heard anything back from her or HR since March.
Mm.
And
Wow,
I have
March.
my,
That was a long time ago.
yes.
Oh, okay.
And I am having my mid-year review next month, so I'm preparing myself to ask about the status of that
Hmm.
because after she confirmed that, I did my research and I confirmed that I have a coworker that's been in the team for 8 months and he was offered way more than I earn.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So, and he's an entry level position. I have a senior position.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. So what you're saying is that you have also found out that somebody who has an entry level position, a lot less experience than you, have ultimately come into the organization with more pay.
yes,
Wow.
and the sad thing is that I had to train them.
Uh,
And it's been a very long learning curve for them. And it's a lot of work and stress for me to train somebody and
so
think
you had to
that,
train the person. Like,
yes,
and it hasn't been easy training. You've actually had to train the person who has come in to the organization making more money than you. And it wasn't like they came in like really like knowing a lot of stuff. You've had to put a lot of time and energy into them to train them to get them up to speed. And they also make more money than you.
exactly, yes.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, okay. And so you also said that, you're exploring, what you want to do. What are your thoughts around what you want to do around this?
So before I found out this, I've always been thinking about, an early retirement. I'm gonna be 52 this Christmas, so I think, and I've thought about this a lot. I don't think I'm aligned. I am
Mm.
tired of corporate, and I I don't feel excited going in my job every day. I see the logos, I see the new branding, I see like all these exciting things that I don't feel like I fit
Mm.
in anymore, and I want to do a lot more meaningful and enjoy more my life with my family. And I've been
Mm.
preparing for that, but now that I know that I'm underpaid,
Yeah.
boy, I have speeded up my all of my plans.
Right. You're like, I'm gonna speed this whole thing up. Because you're not, you talked about alignment, right? I talk a lot about misalignment in organizations,
Yes.
and what it sounds like is you've gotten to the point where you feel misaligned. But this thing, learning that you are underpaid and it sounds like you don't feel valued enough, is making you want to speed up leaving the job or taking an early retirement.
Exactly, yeah. I
Yeah.
know that they're not gonna, raise my salary to that
Mm.
amount in a year. I know that's not gonna happen.
Okay. Okay. So have you you know that because you just know how they operate, or because they just, this organization has never done that before.
I know how they operate.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't feel happy. I used to feel happy with my tasks and all
Mm.
my
Mhm.
work, but I'm exhausted and
Mm.
I just I work hybrid 3 days in the office and
Okay.
2 days from home.
Okay.
But those 3 days are so heavy for me to walk into the office because it's like I just
Mm.
I just can't anymore. It's
Okay.
so heavy, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you what I'm hearing, right? I actually don't think that your biggest problem is that you're being underpaid. I really think that the salary gap between where you are and everybody else is at, it just simply exposed something that you've been feeling for years, right? You already stated that you thought about exiting, you thinking about early retirement, and that you've known for a little while that you're underpaid. But here's what I'm really seeing. I'm seeing that you are misaligned. You keep mentioning that you're not happy, that you work 3 days a week, and those 3 days a week are absolutely grueling for you to go into work. And that is something that your body is saying to you, is that, hey, I don't want to actually do this anymore, right? I think it's less about being underpaid. I just think being underpaid, right, is the thing that exposed how you're currently feeling in this moment, right? And I think that when we start to feel this way, we have to begin to ask ourselves questions about what does the future look like, right? What does it look like? Now, one of the questions I have for you is early retirement at 52. That's pretty early, given the fact that most people retire at 65. Now, I think it's all, the way our government is set up. I got other thoughts on that. But at the end of the day, that's how we're set up right now in terms of our government saying that retirement age is 65, and then early retirement is normally 62, 63. You're 10 years younger than that. Right. And so you got a long, in a sense, you got a long way to go before even early retirement actually happens. And so if you were to retire early, right, what would you do?
I've been working on this plan of, leaving corporate for a few years now. So I prepared a business, a short-term rental
Hmm?
business
Oh,
that I've been operating for over 3 to 4 years now. And I also have a pottery studio that I do pottery, as a hobby, but I also teach and have some, side income from that.
wow, look at you. So, what I'm hearing you say is that you've been working on this plan for a good little while, and you already have two side businesses. One is a rental business and one is a pottery studio, right? And so are those businesses, or though, side, I know that you said the pottery studio is kind of like something that you just do on the side, not really, potentially making all the money, but you teach with it. Do they make you enough money, or do they have the potential to make you enough money if you left your job?
They absolutely have the potential, yeah, to give me
Mhm.
more money.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think it's just I'm scared.
Mm. And so, what's your biggest question to me?
Um, I know this is a question that, if I say, am I ready? That's only I can answer that, right? But
Hmm.
um, I just want to make sure that I am not running away and then I'm gonna regret it. I just want to make sure that um, I'm actually wanting to do something else and not just running away. And um I'm thinking a lot about that.
Mm.
And I'm kind of working on therapy and all those things, to make sure, of being a people pleaser and
Mm.
overachiever and all that, always wanting to do more. Um, I'm scared of having this a lot of time in my hands and wanting to fill it up
Oh,
again. So
okay.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
working on that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you're scared. You think you want to make a move, but you don't want to be running, right? And so let me ask you this. So I have some questions for you. So if HR, right, called you tomorrow and they gave you the raise that you deserve. I mean, they did what you don't think that they would do, which was make your job comparable, make your pay comparable to every single thing that you think it should be. If they did that tomorrow, gave you the raise that you deserve, would you still want to leave? Is the
Oh, that's a
question.
great question.
Hmm.
I would still want to leave, but I would give it like a year more.
Tell me about that.
And yeah, I would ask them, I don't want more work.
Ah,
I If they give me more work, I would think about it, but if not, I would stay like another year maybe. But
oh,
I'm absolutely leaving
oh,
uh,
okay.
in the next few years
In
for
the next
sure.
few years. So you have made a decision that you are out because, and like I said, it's not about the money. It's about being ready to, it's being ready for you to leave. And so let me ask you this. If you have made a decision to, to already leave within the next couple of years, what is your measurement to make you feel ready? Because right now it sounds like you're asking the question of whether I'm ready or not. But what measurement are you using to make you know that you're ready?
Well, in the financial area, I
Hmm.
am saving
Okay, that's good.
and trying to I think I'm already there, but I want more. I just don't want to live off my savings,
Okay,
but
that's
with these side
good.
businesses, I'm sure I won't, but you know, I just want to make sure I have enough savings,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, 6 months more or something like that. I
Okay.
already have like 1 year of savings.
Okay, so you have 1 year, and so you're thinking that if you get to 1.5 years worth of savings, you would feel at least comfortable enough to actually really thinking about leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. 1.5 years. Okay, perfect. And is there anything else besides the money piece of it? And the money is big because here's the thing. I always tell people, right? Don't quit your job unless you have another job to go to, which in your case, you do have two side businesses, but they're not exactly where you want them to be able to support you just yet. Or unless you have savings, anywhere from a year to 2 years saved, because I think a lot of people quit their jobs and they have businesses and they think that 3 months or 6 months is going to save them. It is so much harder to start a
Mhm.
business and try to rely on that business when you quit a job like that that's paying you pretty decent money, right? I would never advise someone to do that. I did that before when I was a social worker. I actually quit my job and I didn't have the savings or another job. And honey, I struggled so bad. Right. And so
Oh.
I don't want that for anyone. But is there
Mhm.
anything else for you besides the money that you're measuring leaving your job? Because I hear something, but I want to know what you hear.
I I just want to be happy. I'm not feeling happy where I am right now. I need a change, and I have my husband 110% supports this. He's
Mm.
absolutely agrees, but I've always been independent and all that, and it's gonna be hard for me, to rely on him a little bit,
Yeah.
but he is 100% supportive, and we know we financially we can afford it.
Oh, okay.
But
Make sure that you do set up that 1.5 years of savings, and along with your husband being supportive and then being able to help you out. I think that that's going to be a really good plan. But the question that I asked you when you were gone is that the thing that I see here, which is the other thing besides money in terms of you leaving, is your mental health. And so the question I asked you was that, do you think that a year from now or 2 years from now, you can survive in this job or this position based on your mental health and you not being happy?
No, I
Mm.
I am thinking that I cannot make any further than 6 months or something like that.
Okay. So it need 6 months to get 6 months of savings. Is that possible for you? Or is it okay for you to lean on your husband if you don't get to your year and a half worth of savings? You already got a year.
Yeah, I'll have to lean on him for a bit.
Okay.
But I think a year might be enough if I also have this side income. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that actually, so I love that. So what I'm hearing you say, cause and I love to repeat back because this then allows you to know what your next steps are. What I'm hearing you say is that you based on your mental health, because money is not the only thing. We started off, you know, you realizing that you were underpaid, but we realized that's not the real problem. The real problem here is you're not happy and you're misaligned with this job right now. And so right now, you need to you can only stay there for another maybe 6 months, and that'll give you the runway that you need, but you have enough savings and you have your husband that you can depend on in order to see you throughout this time, correct?
yes, yes.
Okay, boom, that's number one. Number two is what I would do is I would really, really double down on your businesses, right? Like right now, you have a short term rental business, and then you have a pottery, I guess, hobby that you do right
Mhm.
now. You teach it some, is what I'm hearing, but that could
Yes.
ultimately become a business. That could ultimately become a business. Tell me, about what you see your future with those two things looking like.
I see myself giving those businesses more time because actually with my job I have no time to do pottery. I don't have that much time to um work on the rental property that much, and people to get to know the place and all that. I don't have the time to go and clean it myself. I have to pay
Mm,
for it. That's something that's some money that I would get back. I would clean it myself if I have the time.
yeah.
And um yeah, I would give my businesses more time, and I'm sure if they will give a lot more income than they're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah. And that would be one of my, suggestions for you to do is to find a way to be able to do that even before you quit. I don't know what that looks like, right? But the more time, the more energy you can put towards those businesses and making those real legit things, the more time it'll or the less time it'll take you to start to replace the income that you are making from your job. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to
Mhm.
replace all of your income, but I think at some point, I know lots of people who do well with short term rental businesses in the pottery business. I mean, I know so many people who do well on like Etsy and different things like that when they sell their pottery, they sell their goods and stuff like that. So I would absolutely double down on what that looks like, knowing that when you do ultimately leave your job, you'll be able to give it more time. Is that something that you think you can
Yes,
do?
absolutely. And that would be something that would bring more joy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm scared. I don't want to like romanticize this and, have it like a dream and a perfect life and everything. But I think that's what's gonna make me happy.
Yeah.
And given all these years, to corporate, and it's 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 sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is short, and that's all I'm thinking about. Life is short, and I want to do what makes me happy.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I love romanticizing about it. A lot of people, a lot of times we do this to ourselves where we don't want to be as happy or we don't want to dream. And I think that's a joke, right? Like I think that life we are meant to dream. And I think that most of us, honestly, Alba, we've stopped dreaming. And that's why so many of us stay stuck in jobs that we hate, stuck in jobs that we are burnt out in, stuck in jobs that we have or that we're misaligned in because we stopped dreaming about the way we want to ultimately live our life. So I want to commend you for actually dreaming and romanticizing about this because that's the very thing that's going to allow you to be able to leave your job and be much happier in life.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
love
you
it.
for those words.
Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. And the last thing I want you to do is I truly want you to take care of yourself. Right. You mentioned, earlier that you kind of dread going to work and all that kind of stuff. And it is, you mentioned like potentially therapy and all those in your nervous system and all of that. I really want you to take care of yourself. I need you to try to get more sleep if you're not doing that. And I need you to continue to support your mental health. I think that ultimately, a lot of times when we work so much and we've given so much of ourselves to the job that we stop taking care of ourselves. And I've heard so many, things about people not being able to sleep. Some people we're anxious. We feel lonely, all these things. And some of these things you've mentioned that if you don't take care of yourself, then the job can truly tear you down. And I don't want that for you. So I really want you to, even now while you're still working, build those moments of joy in your week so that you can have something to look forward to. And maybe that's
Yes,
putting more time into those businesses that you mentioned, but you got to make sure that you pour into yourself, so that you can leave this job feeling as healthy as possible.
absolutely. Yes, yes, working on that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to say in closing, for you, first of all, thank you for coming on the show and sharing your experiences with us because I do know a lot of our listeners are going through the exact same thing, and so they're probably out there nodding their head like, oh my God, I feel the same way. And so I want to thank you for that. I don't think that you're overreacting at all. I don't think that it's ultimately about the money. I think that it's really about where you want to be in life and the dreams that you have for yourself. And I think there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to follow your dreams, and wanting to ultimately be happy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for trusting me with your story. I am absolutely cheering you on so that you can build that meaningful life that you've already started creating because you've already started doing it.
Yay.
Yay! Yay!
Yes.
I love it. All right, y'all. If you have a question or a story you want me to look at, please go ahead and submit your questions on your story to the Career Rescue Hotline. And you never know, you might be my next guest on my show. Until next time, go out there and create your own happiness. Peace, everybody. Take care.